right, to answer a question from a recent YouTube commenter on the heat shield, they were curious if there was a pattern or some measurements. So I'm going to just real quick break down how we made this heat shield. First of all, I went on Amazon and I ordered a sheet of 1/8 inch aluminum. $14. Not a big deal. It came shipping, got there like the next day. Then I took some physical measurements of the area here and what some of the constraints were. And I cut this thing down. The original sheet, here's the other half of it right there. The original sheet had come actually in half. So let me show you what the measurements are on this before the elbow. So that is approximately 3.5 inches to the break point, and after the break it progresses, looks like looks like 2.25 inch after the break. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and take this last piece of scrap because I cut this in half. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I bent it. Now, this is a nice long sheet of aluminum and it's kind of hard to bend, and my vise isn't that long. So let me show you the method that I used to bend it. All right, so then I took a couple of 2x6s and I clamped them down in my vise and measured off 3.5 inches so that I could bend it right at this intersection right here. So you can see how I've extended the width of my vise, and by using the wood, it's still strong enough to hold against the aluminum, but it won't bite on the aluminum, and then it gives it kind of a nice edge that it can roll off on. I'm going to go ahead and bend this, and you'll have a look and see what it looks like. On the back side of the heat sink, you'll see I've got some of this thermal tape. Again, the original heat sheet project, we were just going to use the thermal barrier because we thought it was just the ambient heat coming off of the exhaust manifold. But we went to this aluminum one because we found that when the engine was turned off, the heat from the head would move through the intake manifold into the carburetor. So this is a heat sink more than a heat shield, and it just it grabs the heat as it comes off and it dissipates it over a large surface area. So anyway, we still had the thermal barrier there to keep it from the exhaust from causing a problem. So here I got some more of this thermal barrier, and as a matter of fact, I've gone ahead and I've bent my scrap aluminum into the same shape as this. You see that right there? I'm not going to cut out the throttle linkage or the carburetor. There'd be a hole right here for the carburetor, but I'm going to make these parts, some of this, enough of this thermal tape to cover the back of this, and this little piece of aluminum. I'm going to make it available on my eBay site, Promethean Custom Cars. On eBay. So if you go to eBay and look for Promethean Custom Cars, I'll put a link in the description. Also, first one who shows some interest on this will get this. It's just some scrap sitting around the shop here, so I'll do an auction. And I've never done an eBay auction. It might be kind of fun. You're gonna have to pay the shipping, but at the least you'll get these parts. All right, that's all I have on the heat sink. I hope that helps. Anyone else who's interested in doing a heat sink, little $14 piece of aluminum, some shielding, creative bending, and then you cut it to fit whatever carburetor or linkage that you have. That's all I got. Cheers.